Hey guys, Jim Colbert here with PrimeTime Kitchen. We thought we'd do a cool little video like we did with our turkey during Thanksgiving. We're roasting some tri-tips for our Super Bowl party this weekend. Of course, we're using the big green egg. Cooking are cold out now. We want a nice glow orange. It's kind of getting there. You can hear it cracking just right. You'll know it when it kind of gets over underneath. It looks like just this glowing cauldron from hell, but all that's going to do is give you great flavor. By the way, you got to use big green edge charcoal. It's amazing. Nothing else compares. So what we're going to use today is we're going to do 2 tri-tips. Each probably about 4 to 6 pounds. A nice fat cap, I like them like that, right? One has Lysander's beef rub, which I love. Lysander's out of Sanford, Florida, cool company. And the other one is my friends over at Wassey's Meats, the biggest dealer of these guys. And it's their in-house steak rub, and it's my go-to steak rub. It's got the perfect balance. We talk about balance all the time, love it. So what we're gonna do is when our fire gets good and hot, we're gonna use this bottom rack. We're gonna sear our tri-tips off real nice, get color on the outside, get a great color, okay? And then we'll set them to the side, we'll come back, we'll put in our deferred cooking method plate. I think it's called the egg converter or whatever. They always have clever names for them. And we're gonna set a drip pan so we can catch all that fat so we can make a killer gravy afterwards. So we'll do all that in a little bit. Next step coming in 1 second here on PrimeTime Kitchen. All right guys, so we got good heat. So as you can see, we're taking our tri-tips, and one by one, we're gonna get a nice color. Look at that on the bottom there. We want a nice char, a nice sear, because that's gonna carry all the way through. And another thing that a lot of guys don't consider when they're cooking, all they think about is internal temperature, and that's great, there's nothing wrong with that. But you also have to consider what kind of flavor your meat's gonna carry through. The biggest mistake with big pieces of beef like this is people do not season them enough. As you can see, we have liberal seasoning on our beef, and I like to have it set for about an hour after I put it on there at room temperature before I throw it on. Because here's the thing, that crust on the outside, that's where you get all your flavor from as you go through all that beautiful, juicy, fatty beef. You still need some salt and all the spices that go through that bite. And that's what we get by really liberally seasoning. It is almost impossible to over season these things, I promise. You really do want that crust. So we have a good sear. We're gonna turn it over to a fat cap. And before we close up and come back in a second, with this fat cap side, be very careful, because as that fat starts to melt, it's gonna cause a lot of flame, and you don't wanna burn it because it will kind of make it taste a little different. You kind of wanna roast it at high temperatures. So I close her down a little bit, and I keep this temperature at about 450, 500 degrees. It only takes a minute. You'll get them seared off. Then we slow everything down, and we'll bring you that 1 second. All right, guys, here we go. We're gonna get these slow roasted. You can see we have a nice sear on our beef tri-tips right here with our nice fat. So we're gonna go ahead and put our indirect cooking egg plate converter thing. We're gonna put a little drip pan, so we want all that fat. So we'll put it right here. Then we're gonna go ahead and put our other, I gotta be careful because old stupid Jim would just grab a 500-degree grate like in a minute. So, all right, we're gonna put our bigger tri-tip on the bottom. I really have no reason why, just going to. And then this is, in my opinion, this is a must. If you have a large big green egg, this is an absolute must. So figure that out. Anyway, we're gonna put this right up here. As you can see, we're gonna cook one right over the other. As this fat renders down onto that, it'll kind of baste itself. We have a nice cooking, we're gonna keep it about 350 degrees. And again, if you have a large egg, I think this is an absolute must. So we're gonna roast these off. These should take about 45 minutes to an hour. We're looking for an internal temperature of 145. So come back and we'll show you these when they're done. Then we'll cut them and show you what we're gonna do with them on PrimeTime Kitchen. So this day, what? I don't know. All right, guys, so here we are. We're back, finished product. We're talking about doing tri-tips on the big green egg.
Super Bowl football right here, buddy.
What we have is our probably 3.5 to 4 pound. You can see it shrunk up quite a bit earlier. My other one's on still. So what you want is 145 degrees internally. Pull it out, let it rest for about 10 minutes. Carve it. That should be medium rare in that world. So we know that the ends are going to be a little more done.
Those are also my favorite parts.
May I? Yes. As we move toward the middle.
Come on, man.
You see, and you can already see the juice starting to come out. Super easy at the end, or carve. Super.
I'm gonna rub juice on that.
This is the Wassey's Meats
beef
rub. Yeah, it's really good. And you know, you would think it'd be hard to cut And the cool thing about having these tri-tips, because they get nearer at the end, see how I'm kind of medium rare there, but toward the end I get a little bit more well done? That's awesome, because we know that about a third of the tip is going to be good for somebody who doesn't like their meat like real rare. So that's how you do the tri-tip. Super easy, and this is a really good piece of meat to cook because you get that beautiful flavor like you've cooked it forever, and this you've cooked like an hour and 10 minutes.
Awesome.
So there you go, beef tri-tip on PrimeTime Kitchen. Very easy.
Well, Josh is like, I mean,